Welcome back to another episode of the Marathon. My name's Mare. I even got my OG Marathoner coffee cup this morning, and I wanted to introduce this video before we get into it because if I didn't, I don't think it would make sense to use. It really just has taken on a mind of its own, and turns out I'm actually really excited to share this video with you, and I hope you'll find it entertaining, a little funny, and also helpful, and maybe prompt you to do something. We'll see once the video's done. It's confusing. Honestly, I just started vlogging and thinking like, okay, we're just gonna do another summer diaries. Cut to the first half of the video. I didn't show my face once. And then we have a nice little chat at the end about why I like to do these kinds of things. I take you through purging my kitchen and also a little bit of food chat in there as well. And then really talk to you about the connection between doing this, the purging, the zhuzhing, the taking care of your space, and your mental health. It all comes back to that. And as a certified therapist, a registered social worker in private practice now, I love to be able to connect seemingly mundane things that we do that can actually really help our mental health. So without further ado, here is another episode of the Marathon. I hope you enjoy. I already started doing a kitchen clean out and figured she best pick up the camera. So pulled all of the things out of this drawer, which honestly, there's not much I would get rid of, but they don't all need to be at hand. I did just do this cupboard. So now we have some actual space in here, and I'm going against my instinct to immediately fill it in case things from other cupboards could go here instead. I wanted to get the kettle and the toaster off the counter because I'm not going to use this probably until October, and if I need it, it's right at hand. We don't really use the toaster that often unless we have company, so I'm tucking it away. The blender I use a lot, so that needs to be at the front. Like the popcorn maker, we use the waffle maker maybe twice a year. And so I left the creamy out. I will probably put this away in the winter, maybe swap it for the kettle. And then I put the Vitamix on the counter to try to be more intentional about having more smoothies. Although I made a smoothie for breakfast this morning and it's terrible. And now I feel nauseous. So if you have any great smoothie recipes, high protein, like please let me know, because I would love to be a smoothie girly, but I just cannot seem to get it right. Anyway, so now we're tackling this, and if you're wondering what these are knives that I bought for Thomas. Actually, no, he got as a gift. This is something that I bought on a whim at Winners, which honestly, I never use. It's to be like fancy when you're cooking and like pick up the things. I just never use it. Couldn't tell you the last time this slotted spoon was used. You know, like that sort of thing. Do I need 2 sets of tongs? Hello. So I'm just gonna go through this, clean the drawer out and see how we do. Hello. You wondering what mommy's doing in the kitchen? Yeah. Aww. Wearing it. Can I show them your shirt? Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Can you come this way? Can you turn this way? Look at Thomas's shirt today. It's classic. Sun FM Easy Rock. Was your dad's? Yeah. That's nice. As you were, Mom? Just making sure nothing's happening. Do you want to pick up the watering cans and water the flowers? No? You want to go chill? Okay. I am also listening to part 2 of this interview with Oprah on the Jamie Kern Lima show. It's pretty good. Trying to have an intentionally inspirational, productive morning. It's Monday morning. Okay, I've cleaned out the drawer and washed out these, and I just want to say, this may make some of you uncomfortable. It's okay to have a drawer that looks like this. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined. It doesn't have to be painted. Like, this is life. It's also okay if your containers don't match and like nothing fits perfectly. It's okay. Okay? It's fine. We're gonna close it and it's just gonna look like that. And look, we even have some like paint chips. Who cares? Okay? Life is lived in this house. Anyway, I wanted to show you this. I have shown this many times over the career of my YouTube channel. This is the Swiss Mar peeler. It is the greatest peeler ever. Just find it any Walmart, etc. Nothing compares to her. This garlic press I got 20 years ago probably from Pampered Chef. I don't even know if Pampered Chef exists anymore. It's amazing. This I have also raved about since anyone would listen. It's the Starfrit can opener. Nothing compares. Nothing compares. Okay. Now, things to keep. My industrial lemon squeezer. You can get one like this anywhere, Winners, etc. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. I couldn't even tell you the last time I used it. I could probably get rid of one of the pairs of tongs. I actually really like this Betty Crocker silicone spatula. I think you can probably get it at the dollar store. This is gonna be retired, I think. It's a very cheap grater that never gets used. My mom gave me this knife 1,000 years ago. It's the best knife ever. I don't even know how she found it. Keeping it. Pizza cutter. Couldn't tell you the last time I had to cut my own pizza. But I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to put it over there in the cabinet because it doesn't need to be at hand. That's another thing. We don't necessarily have to get rid of things, but we don't need to have them at hand. This, I think this was like an impulse purchase that I'm going to get rid of. I had never used this, ever. This, on the other hand, if you need a niche gift for someone who likes to eat salad, you've seen me use it before. I'm making salad for lunch today. I will try to remember to show you. It is the easiest way to make a chopped salad. I love it so much. Anyway, let's get to work putting these back, shall we? I just want the drawer to be able to open without things getting caught. That's basically the name of this game. Hi, sweet boy. What is it? You want a tickle? You want a tickle? Again, it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't match. There's space here that probably bothers many of you that I'm not filling, but like this is the regular drawer. I didn't need it to look aesthetic. I just needed it to be able to do this without it annoying me. Ta-da! Here's the china cabinet. I'm sure, you know, you've seen it before. This is that one drawer I have where it's like, you know, the corn on the cob butter, the serving spoons, the salad tongs, napkin rings, potato masher, like things I just need on hand, but we'll use like maybe once a year or if we have company, but I don't need in my way every day. Two more empty ones that I just emptied. Also, hi, this is Thomas's baby foot. How adorable. This is everything that came out of those two cupboards. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep my KitchenAid. I have 3 of the exact same baking pans. She never bakes a cake, ever. I also found $35 in gift cards that expired March of 2023, which makes me so upset. This Christmas of 2022, I bought all of Thomas's team gift cards to Gratify, and as a thank you, you got a $5 gift card back. Then Thomas had seizures, and clearly these got lost. So I have a make your own sushi. I've never used this. It would be amazing if we did. I can hear you saying, oh, but you will. I have this, which just makes me think of taking my fingers off. A random cup. This is actually super sentimental. This is one of my girlfriends turned 40 during the pandemic, and her birthday is New Year's Eve. So we went on a walk and I made everyone like breakfast mimosas, and I gave everyone a cup. So that one's sentimental. I don't need to keep the cup. I have the memory. This is really cute. When we have company, again, like my favorite screen cleaner. None of this makes sense. This is the charger for our cordless vacuum. Yep. Okay. If you ever see me in a vlog thinking, ooh, let me buy some straws, just yell at me. Like, this is out of control. How many straws does one person need at one time? I have one mouth. Like, what? This is what this drawer looks like right now. Perfect, perfection. This. Cool. I feel like organized it looks worse. Oh my god. Never are we buying straws again, Mare, okay? Never. Still kept some straws, but we're looking good. That one's much better than it was. This one still has lots of room, so we'll see how that goes. And this is what I'm going to donate. So not too bad, honestly. Can I just say this is like the watermelon of my dreams? Like, got it from IGA. It's just perfection. How do you cut your watermelon? Do you leave the rind on? I always cut mine right off and just cut it into like bite-sized pieces. I should maybe cut them in bigger ones to hold on to, but yum. Summer. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is so good. All I can see while cutting this watermelon is it getting covered in sand at the beach. Look at that. We are ready. Also, do you cut it all at once like I do? I always cut all the melon at once. A watermelon like this, or I have a couple of cantaloupes. This one definitely feels ripe. This one I think could wait a little bit, but I'm gonna cut the whole thing up. So you can see how well that little tool chops the veg, which I just love. Then I added some lentil pasta, tofu, and a bunch of veg. I went to IGA to get a couple of things, and I picked up another box of this organic red lentil penne, which is what I had in my salad. I've had it for a few days now, and I really like it. 19 grams of protein in half a cup. I just always put it in this. I've tried many a protein pasta, and many are disgusting, and this one I feel like just tastes like regular pasta. And then I also bought these, which was kind of an impulse purchase, but I think I'm gonna try them in my water to mix it up, and also in my Coke Zero. I'm curious to see if they're gonna be like too chemically or delicious. I've seen lots of people rave about them, so picked those up at IGA, and this, and then also got some oat milk. Just thrills and chills. Here's another kitchen tool, since this has somehow become the theme of this video. It's the next day, but I just used it. I've shown it before. It's one of those like chopper things. You put the veg in and it makes the perfect chops. I'm making a tofu scramble this morning, and what it looks like this chopping took probably less than 2 minutes. It's so efficient. If you're wondering why it looks watery, it's because I added water to it instead of oil. Let's put the lid back on. I had seen this online, as I'm sure many of you have, and it's great. It comes with a bigger one, and then some other bits and bobs that I have never even tried. I will just say, be careful, because it's so sharp. Many of you in a previous vlog, when I talked about how badly I cut my finger because I pressed my hand down on this, which is all sharp blades, hence the caution sharp warning. Many of you said you use some sort of glove when you use a cutter like this, so I'd be intrigued to know like what, because she's dangerous. She's efficient, but you have to use it with caution. Obviously it says it on it. Here, I'm gonna do some potatoes in the air fryer to add to the scramble so you can see. Potato. Boom. It's so easy. It's so great. I don't use it enough. Sure. Hope you enjoyed that little look into my kitchen. One of my goals for the summer was to clean out the majority of the kitchen, and so far I've been pleased with how little I've actually had to throw away. If you've been hanging out for any period of time, something that I have found to be very true is like tidy space, tidy mind. And if you've read Finding Your Cape, my best-selling book, you will know this, but I really found that when my life started to get out of control and very stressful and very scary, that what I really latched onto was my home, and purging and redecorating and zhuzhing. There's like a running joke between me and my husband now that whenever he goes to work, he comes home and he's basically just bracing himself to see like what around the house has changed. Or for so long, I have a woman who comes and cleans my house every other week. She would just be like, well, what will Mare have changed today? And neither of them are being dramatic or over exaggerating. It is true. I find such like calm and grounding in my home. Again, if you've read Finding Your Cape, you know I go into this quite a bit. I actually had people say that they wish that I had gone into it more in the book, and so if you ever have questions about it, I'm happy to answer. But tidy space, tidy mind, and also just less stuff, less clutter, I find helps me personally with my mental health. So less stuff on the counters, not piles everywhere. And I do put in quite a bit of effort to maintain my space. And it's actually something, I wouldn't say like I enjoy the cleaning and the work, but I do enjoy the start a project, do the work, see a completion, if that makes sense. that also really came into play for me, that like I can start something, I can do it, I can problem solve it, and I can finish it. I'd say I really started to notice that mentality when my son Thomas, who's now 13 somehow, when he was born deaf. And then at the age of 3, he got a cochlear implant, and he also stopped talking and was diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. And I really found, and I still do to this day, the inability to resolve all of the struggles that Thomas faces is so difficult. Like, I can problem solve, I can make charts and to-do lists, and I can buy all the things, and still he struggles. And so I think subconsciously what came up for me was beginning a project, being able to problem solve it, and then seeing that final result really filled that bucket and that need for me, because as much as I do for Thomas, and as much as he does for himself, and as much as, you know, our entire chosen family and friends and support team do, it's a lifelong struggle, right? So I'd love to know if that resonates with you at all. If you struggle with something else, it could be your job, it could be some family toxicity, it could be your own health, but you can really see like a beginning and a middle and an end in a project, especially at home. I think that's probably why I have so many videos, you know, like rearranging my office or renovating or painting, and you know, those will fill some sort of hole. Not all of it, which is why, you know, your girl's been in therapy for over a decade, and also now is a therapist myself. I am accepting clients. I see people in person, but also over Zoom and the phone. So if you don't live where I live, but you do live in BC, I'd be happy to chat with you. It's something that there's been, you know, lots of scientific studies about, and that need to have some sort of sense of control, especially when most of our life is not in our control, no matter how much we like white knuckle it and wish that it was. What can we control, which is another thing that we like to focus on in therapy, is like control the controllables in the most like healthy, positive possible way. And for me, that's my space. Again, I talk about this in Finding Your Cape, and I'm sure I've talked about this in videos ad nauseum in the 7 years since I became a widow, but when Jeremy died, I really took ownership of this home in like, you know, the mortgage way, but also the overall aesthetic of the house. And I wanted it to be, you walk into my home and you immediately exhale and you feel like this is a safe space. I can be myself. I can like let my guard down, because a lot of the time we don't feel that way out and about at work, or, you know, in the community or wherever. But when we come home, we want to be able to like take that armor off and just exhale. And every time someone comes into my home, like 9 times out of 10, they do that. And it still brings me so much comfort to see other people getting that same comfort. Like, the living room used to be orange. It's now gray with like very muted tones. And, you know, I love to have natural light or low light and the oil diffuser going. And then I have like electronic candles going, because we don't use actual candles in the house anymore. And just, sometimes you'll even walk into the house and there's literal spa music playing. Whatever we can do. I rarely have the TV on, like never the news. If the TV's on right now, it's like Downton Abbey or Drag Race. And even that's like so rare for me. So I'd love to know like how you find Zen in your space, and if this is a new concept for you, where would you start and how would you start? You can see how I did it in my book. This is really, I'm not trying to just continually plug the book, but I obviously talk about this a lot in the book, and this is something that I've always loved. Even when I was a really little girl, I always loved rearranging my bedroom. I got that from my sister for sure, because she used to do the same thing, but like always rearranging my space and like making it feel fresh. I'm a firm believer that you can spend $0 and really refresh your space, or you can do it on a very small budget. You know, during the pandemic, we painted our kitchen for like less than $300. A coat of paint goes so far. You can thrift so much of it, Facebook Marketplace it, or you can take things and repurpose it. Like, oh, I have this plant in my office, put it in my living room, and that might sound small and mundane, but it can really make such a difference. And I would love to know, like, how would you start? Where would you start? Or have you done something like this recently? I'm always looking around my house to zhuzh it. My husband can always like see the look on my face that comes over, and he's like, all right, I can tell you're stepping back. What's coming? What's next? Do I need my drill? And often, yes, you do. And sometimes it just starts with tidying, or going through one drawer, like you saw me in my kitchen, going through like all the straws. Embarrassing, can't believe I'm putting that up on the internet. Or, you know, all the containers, or the Tupperware, or under your bathroom sink, and really allowing yourself to feel that sense of accomplishment, like beginning, middle, end. What's expired? What do you not use? You know, that kind of thing. And if you're holding on to stuff, that's okay too. Maybe you just like do it again in 6 months and see like, okay, I haven't worn this thing in a year, or whatever it is. I haven't used this slotted spoon, etc. Let us know in the comments down below what you like to do, what brings you sort of joy or calm and zen, and allows you to like have some real safe space. I really would love for you to cultivate your space, to have it be your sanctuary, your place where you can think, where you can be upset, where you can laugh, where you can welcome loved ones, where you can end toxic relationships, like all kinds of things. But I truly believe it starts with your space. And so again, while it might seem silly that I'm talking this deeply and, you know, tacking mental health into a silly little refresh of my kitchen, you know me, and you know that to me everything relates to our mental health and our well-being. I recently won top influencer in my city, and it kind of made me giggle because I feel like I'm the least like influencing person. It's so rare for me to even like tag a product or link something down below. I usually forget. But when I think about influencing and me, and why I think that maybe people saw that for me, and what I would hope that like my legacy of influencing would be, is influencing you to take care of yourself, influencing you to really focus on your mental health, influencing you to look back and take a wider lens at your space and be like, how can I make this more for me? How can I make this easier systems? You know, recently I posted a video that was, how could this be easy? You know, those kinds of things. How can my space bring me zen? Now, when I open that kitchen drawer, that's it. It's just the drawer. It's not like trying to tug at it. The Tupperware, if anyone would like to explain the science behind the Tupperware, I will be forever grateful, because I still don't understand how I can purge my Tupperware, buy a set, and then I still have more containers than lids, or more lids than containers, and none of them match. And like, what has happened here? Like, actually though, what has happened here? If someone could explain that to me. I don't have the answer for that one. I have many answers for you, and I would love to help you with your mental health and your space, etc. But the Tupperware, I don't know if we'll ever figure that out. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Lace up, subscribe, become a marathoner. Life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Please leave a comment down below and tell us what space you have zhuzhed, where you would start, how you would start. Pick one drawer, pick one shelf on a bookshelf. Don't even have to do all 6 shelves, just do one. What books could you maybe take down to your neighborhood free library? Or what books could you look at and say like, oh yeah, I forgot I even own that. Let me put that out and read a chapter today. Whatever we're doing for ourselves this summer or this fall, whatever time of year you're watching this, you do you. You can do anything for 10 minutes, and I will see you in the next Summer Diaries episode. Take care. Bye.